Welcome to the Popcorn Talk Network, for the online broadcast network that features movie discussion, news, and interviews. Press 1.
Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
From the Popcorn Talk Network, the online broadcast network for movie talk, this is Otaku Movie Anatomy, breaking down and reviewing some of the best and worst in the animated film genre. Is its power level over 9,000, or is it just another Yamcha? Find out now on Otaku Movie Anatomy!
Yay! Hello and welcome back, everyone!
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Happy New Year! Year of the Monkey!
Is it Year of the Monkey?
Year of the Monkeys.
Hey,
Monkeys.
the Monkeys.
All the monkeys.
Nice. It's good, not a great band. Oh, all right.
What?
Hey.
Can't
Start
Shut
off
your
this
whore
with
mouth.
the monkey slam.
All right.
Wow.
Welcome to Otaku Movie Anatomy. My name is Jonathan. I'm going to be your host tonight as we talk about a movie called Patema. And there it is. I already lost the name of this thing. What is this called?
Inverted.
Patema Inverted. I'm Jonathan. You can find me at KaibaCat. And with me always, we'll get down the line right over here.
I am Yume Ninja.
I am Robbie Daymond.
And I am ChubbyBunny Michelle. I always forget what my internet name is. But more importantly, Robbie
Daymond.
No, don't do that.
We're doing it.
Yeah, that makes me feel weird.
Yeah.
You're ready to feel weird about an hour, so.
Sweet, I'm ready.
Oh, see that? We got the
Oh,
applause
thank
for
you.
Robbie.
There's a real life producer up there
Yeah.
somewhere. Not up there. That's not really anything else.
Now, if you guys don't know this Robbie Daymond, then, well, where have you been? You're an anime fan. You're watching the show. You know Robbie Daymond's voice, absolutely. And this is also his face. This is what he looks like. And,
That's
lucky
the
you.
disappointing part.
Yeah.
Like, the voice we know, the face. Ouch. Yikes.
You can find him in this movie, Patema Inverted, as well as, I think probably, everyone's favorite. You are the voice of...
Oh, yeah.
Porta, but you are the voice of also Tuxedo Mask.
That's
Oh,
right, I
yeah,
am.
I mean-
Yeah, the old Sailor Moon.
The old
Yeah. Well, the old Sailor Moon and the new Sailor Moon.
Yes.
Both old and new.
That's right.
Yeah.
Crystal.
Yeah, it's happening. It's
But then you're also
coming out every week.
are you in the middle of redubbing the stars, or what's happening?
Yeah, well, I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you exactly what's happening.
Someone
but
told us last week.
let's just say we're doing all the original 200, including stars,
Okay.
and we're a little more than halfway through.
Yeah.
We're working a lot on it. Yeah.
Awesome.
The OG.
Yeah, right? And on top of that, Crystal, but, I do got to ask, are you doing that Christmas movie?
Oh, the Christmas.
yes.
Oh my god, really? Yes.
Oh, we are doing all of the movies as well.
Oh
my
my god.
We have not done them yet, but they're on the docket from my understanding.
Wow. We just reviewed that
just did.
Hearts and Ice. It was like a Christmas episode, and we just lulled over that whole
It was the
thing.
best scene.
The best scene for Tuxedo Mask in his entire career of being his character is being Santa first,
That's what I hear.
jumping, tearing off the clothing to reveal a Tuxedo Mask underneath, and then jumping out of a blimp for no reason at all.
And then chucking a dreidel.
What?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, he throws a drink.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you have no idea. You
Cool.
hit all of them
Well,
in that
Tuxedo
one.
Mask is very culturally sensitive. Let's be real. What you don't know is he's wearing Kwanzaa underwear underneath all of it. Yeah. She liked that one. Good. Rim
So
shot.
outside of Sailor Moon, anything else going on? Anything else you wanna tell everyone out there that you're doing right now?
Yeah. I mean, I've always wanted to do anime. I've been doing VO for about 7 years or so, and my first anime ever was Patema.
This was your first one?
This movie
Wow.
that we're reviewing tonight was the first anime I'd ever dubbed in my life. So this was about a year and a half ago now.
Ah.
Yeah, and then the next one I ever did was Sailor Moon.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
And
insane jump.
It's a weird jump, yeah. But since then I've gotten to do a lot of cool stuff. We're doing Durarara X2 right now.
What
We're
were you
doing
in?
Ran Izumi, the crazy sort of psychopath guy who says one episode where he says asshole like 50 times. It's really fun. Yeah, and I'm doing Seven Deadly Sins. It's some what's the I'm gonna get in trouble for the Sword Art. A little Sword Art.
Nice. Yeah. Don't get yourself busted.
Yeah,
here for
Aldenoa
this.
Zero. We're doing the new Gundam Iron Blood Orphans. We're doing that.
yeah.
Just a whole bunch of stuff. So.
Dang, you was busy.
Dang.
Yeah, it's cool. Once the anime world embraces you, they don't let go. They just sink their hooks in, and there you are.
Much
a
like
good
the
thing.
fans.
Yeah.
Yeah. So gosh, you've been doing this a year and a half then, as a voice
anime.
actor.
Yeah,
Anime
yeah,
specifically.
about that,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Nice. What else? What else outside of anime? I mean, you got.
Oh, I commercials. It was what I started on. That's where most voice actors make the lion's share of their money. And then as time went on, I started doing traditional animation. So go on IMDb. You're on the computer anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, like Transformers. I had a show for Nickelodeon on 2 shows on Nickelodeon for a while, and that sort of stuff. Sort of Saturday morning cartoon kid stuff, which is pretty fun. But I don't know what's going on the screens there. Oh, it's great. It's really fun.
Yeah, they're checking out
later,
everything.
that's for
That's
later.
later.
They're not all accurate.
Yeah, the view screen.
That was just like a strange circus lady.
Oh, nice. Well, one more question before we move on. Then, how was it? This was your first project in the anime world.
Yes.
Yeah. How was it working on it?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, I lucked out a lot because the director is a friend, Stephanie Shea.
Oh, Stephanie
who's
directed this.
Actually, Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
So, and we, yeah.
Thoughts connecting.
It's
See the connection now.
Well, it was really weird because when we came in to do this, she was like, "Hey, did you audition for a thing?" And I was like, "Yeah, is it a big anime thing?" And I was like, "Yeah, did you get hired?" I was like, "Yeah, did you get hired?" And I was like, "Do you know what you're?" It was because it was a big secret, you can't talk about anything, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But and then we're like, "Well, this is good that we're doing this. Let's spend the next X amount of hours." Breaking you into the anime world. So if you're going to be under the tutelage of someone, Stephanie Shea is a really good person to be under the tutelage of. So.
Yeah, she's got a nice resume.
She does, and she's a great director too. So so it was a total pleasure working on this. Yeah, and this is my kind of anime too. This movie itself.
Patema?
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
I too
lie.
was very surprised.
Yeah.
Me and Yume are very cynical on the show, by the way. So usually we hate everything.
We're very nitpicky.
Yeah, of course. You have to be. It's a genre with a ton of material out there, so
Yeah.
you can't give everything a pass, and not
is
everything
true.
is good. I mean, if I worked on it, it was good, and I love you for hiring me. Thank you very much. I've never worked on anything bad before, so it's great.
Well,
Well, we haven't been here in let's see, about a month, I guess. Has it been?
you like a month,
I haven't.
but
I haven't been here in a
2
month and a
weeks.
half,
We
right?
had a break of 2 weeks.
Okay, then we've had a 2-week break for the show. So, real quick, we're going to go over our HEMA time. We're going to go over what the heck has been going on in the past couple weeks with some of our hosts. We'll start at the end with you, Michelle.
I was saying earlier, literally just got really fat. I ate so much food. But then for New Year's, Yume and I and a bunch of our friends went down to Little Tokyo and did the Shogatsu ceremonies and stuff like that. It was really nice. Did
We got our
first,
fortunes and stuff like that.
first visit to
from
the temple.
Oh, nice.
Got some arrows to cleanse our home of evil and crap.
Living that weeb life.
That weeb life. And then of course there's 3 dudes cosplaying. I'm like, why? What?
Yeah,
Why?
like,
What are you doing? What's
It's
happening?
just Shokatsu.
If you go to Little Tokyo any day of the week, there's just 1 or 2 dudes just cosplaying,
And,
walking around by
Like
themselves.
90% of the time, they're Naruto cosplayers.
Poor
The what?
Naruto
They're
fans.
Naruto
Naruto fans.
every time?
Every
Oh,
time you go to
well.
Little Tokyo, there's at least one Naruto guy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if they're not cosplaying, they're wearing an Akatsuki jacket.
Yeah.
It's always there.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. At least the Akatsuki. I mean, they're awesome. I love the Akatsuki, so that's cool at least. I want to see a Toby mask. That would make me happy. No, you guys aren't fans?
Wait, what?
Toby with the
Like
the-
Roots, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not Toby.
His name is Kuta Kinte.
Come on.
All right, Robbie,
It
what'd
just
you
looks
do,
like
man?
an orange, though.
Yeah, no, but Toby masks are
that's why I was
awesome.
like,
And
what are
with
you
the single,
talking
with the
about?
one eye. Oh,
It's
forget
just
it.
like the swirly orange.
I
Jonathan's
know.
the worst.
Toby's a great character. Anyways, and what would you do, Robbie? What was your time like?
Oh, we went on. My girlfriend's in the corner there. Hey,
I
hello.
know, right? Can you put her on camera?
We just hit her in the corner. We went on like a old school road trip, and I haven't road tripped in a while. We drove 3,000 miles. We went down to San Diego to see her family, and then to Tucson to see my family, and then we drove from Tucson, met some friends in Tucson, and caravan to Austin for New Year's, and ripped up Austin for a couple days.
Ripped up
Nice.
Austin.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we drove back. So it was like an 11-day sort of city to city road trip. It was
That's
really
great.
it was really fun. It also made me feel really old too. 'Cause I feel like I could drive all day when I was 20.
Yeah.
And
And now
now
it's exhausting.
yeah, well,
Everything's
It's
exhausting.
a 12-hour day from Tucson to straight through.
Yeah.
So more like 15. And it was pretty tough, but we had a blast. We had a lot of fun. It was a great holiday.
How long was it?
Oh, the whole drive?
Yeah.
It's 13 hours if you map it, but you have to pee. I mean, you have to eat things. You've got to keep your sanity.
Well.
Yeah.
Things that you don't think about when you're 20.
It's
Yeah.
true. It's, I want to pee in this can. Yeah, you can't. You don't do that
Yeah.
anymore.
When you're 30, you're like, no.
No, I have my pride
Yeah.
still.
I'm an adult.
How about you, Jonathan? What did you do over
Oh,
break?
well, we'll jump. Yeah, well, you guys know I did a show, which I was letting you guys all know about. I was out living in Laguna Beach. That was pretty cool. At the Laguna Beach Playhouse.
So why did
put
they-
me
when
out.
you-
There was a picture of it. Yay, Snow White Christmas. Yeah, Marina Sirtis from Star Trek, Lindsay Pierce, she's on Recovery Road right now, myself, and two amazing actors. One, he's from Tarzan and a couple other shows, and a guy they brought out from Liverpool who lives now in the States, named Neil. He's fantastic. So it was a great interactive comedy show called a Panto, British Panto, and it was fantastic. It was 6-7 weeks of my life, and it was amazing. And that was it. That was my life for the past 6-7 weeks. And now I'm
So
back.
what does Snow White do at Christmas?
You know, actually, the film, the show has very little to do with Christmas itself. It's just that British Panto is always done at Christmas time.
But it's in the title.
It's in the title.
And it says at Christmas.
It's
Yes.
to trick you into
It's the
thinking it's
thing
holiday
is, it
themed.
is a British thing where
Yeah.
it doesn't have to have anything to do with Christmas, but it's done at Christmas. So in America, that's actually one of the things the review said. It was like, oh my gosh, the show was great. All these reviews that came out, but then every review was like, but it had nothing to do with Christmas. And we're like, yeah, it's British Panto. It doesn't have to have anything to do with Christmas.
Oh, no,
something
it's,
that
it's not at Christmas.
No,
It's
no,
just
Snow White Christmas, which is even worse. Because if it was at Christmas, it would make more sense. Like,
Yeah,
oh, they're doing
yeah.
it during Christmas
But not only
time.
that, that's a qualifier. It's saying it's going to be a Christmas that's Snow White-esque in
Yeah,
some
like
way.
that's what I was gonna say. I
Yeah,
was like, that's
so
very
it is.
confusing.
It is very little to do with Christmas, outside of one line where I'm like, "Hey Snow White, what do you want for Christmas?"
Oh, Lord.
And then after Christmas, I was like, "Hey Snow White, what's your New Year's resolution?" Because in British Panto, you can just change the lines.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all interactive. The audience is
Yeah.
a member, so we're always improvising as actors as well as doing the show. So it was great. You can see it next year. I'll probably talk about it next year because I think we're doing it in Laguna or San Diego next year.
Fun.
So it's pretty awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah, you may hit it, and then we'll get into this.
Oh yeah, I went and saw Star Wars twice and became a Star Wars fan.
She didn't know what a Star Wars was before
I
that.
have never been a Star Wars fan, and everybody around me was like, "I like Star Wars." I'm like, "Okay, cool." But then I watched Force Awakens. I was like, "Yeah, that's a pretty fucking good movie."
Yeah.
Welcome. Hey, welcome, young Padawan.
We can still stay friends. Good. God, the internet goddamn exploded over that movie. It was super annoying.
Yeah, it just as of today, it is now holds the record over Avatar for most money made in domestically.
Domestic. But it opens in China this weekend, right?
Is that it?
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
so. And then we'll see what happens with the Chinese market.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I
yeah.
think this thing's gonna take Avatar in
Yeah.
Pretty
every
easy.
facet.
Pretty easy.
Seriously.
Okay, well, let's get into this movie, you guys. We talked for 15 minutes not about the movie. Let's talk about the movie a little bit. It's Patema Inverted. Okay. Now, it was done by, Yasuhiro Yoshiura. You help me here. Yoshihiro.
Yoshiura.
Yoshiura.
Yep.
All right, perfect. It came out in Japan in 2013. That was a Japanese release. Came out in the States in 2014, also in the UK as well. It was done by Purple Cow Studios, and Cinedigm picked it up and brought it out to Blu-ray in the United States. Okay, now here's the movie in itself. Now, the movie is based on after this scientific event happened where gravity was shifted for a large majority of the population and people were basically floated up into space. And that's how it sort of gives the movie to you. And we start the film with Patema and these people who are living underground, and they're living underground, and this is sort of the society. And Patema is our lead character, or protagonist, who's got a fascination with this danger zone, which is sort of a circular area where the gravitational pull will lead you into the other Earth that was sort of created.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched this movie, by the way, and you're watching this, sorry, but like the whole movie revolves around the big spoiler.
Yeah.
But keep yeah.
Yeah.
So
Big
sorry.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you
If
guys,
you watch the show, you know
we're
that.
gonna burn most of this film outside of. I'll try to not do like the big spoiler at the end.
No, we're just gonna talk about
Okay,
it.
we're just
We're
gonna do it.
talking
Yeah, how do you not talk about it?
Because it's a complicated synopsis. All right, let's just do it. So Patema falls into the other world because her gravity drops her into the other world. She literally falls, gets stuck in a tree, gets saved, and meets up with a kid named Age. Age is part of the other world society, which is sort of like a cultish Nazi-esque world where they're creating drones of people, essentially,
Yeah.
basically,
It's very like dystopian.
Yes, very, very much so.
They literally have Soviet like posters on the sides of the
Yeah.
people movers and all. It's very like this is what
Very
this is.
heavily like influenced by this particular.
I wouldn't even say
yeah.
influence. Like we took this design
Yeah.
and just put it in the movie, and then it's good dictatorship. See, understand? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cult religious Nazism is essentially what we're dealing with.
Right.
Izumura is the Hitler-esque leader of this
The
world.
unreasonable bad guy.
Yes.
Which we'll get into later.
Yeah, I
So
mean-
unreasonably bad.
Yeah, he's cult Hitler is what he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very religious.
Yeah, he's very religious because they believe. So they believe that they are Earth, they are the world, and that when everyone was taken up, from the gravitational pull, it was actually because they're sinners, and it was sort of, they were pulled away because they're sinners and they're evil, and so everyone who exists in the other world, the inverts as they call them, are sinners and evil and wrong, and so he wants to take over the other world, kill everyone in the other world, and so which Patema is a part of, and she is now on the Nazi-esque world, so he captures her essentially.
Whoop, whoop.
Okay, so I'm still doing good with this. Whew, here we go. Because now we've got 2 worlds that we're dealing with. Because we're going to deal with 4 layers. And there we go. Oh, we got the Patema Inverted map.
Oh,
okay, I'm
I
glad.
like this map.
This
I've
map
never
is
seen
going to
it.
help you. This
Who
map is going to
actually
help
did
you.
this? Is
I
this the
found it
person?
online.
Good.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Internet.
Thanks, online.
Yeah.
Thanks, people on the internet.
Someone else
Not
saw
to
this
scale.
movie. No, not to scale. Someone else saw this movie and was like, all right, we need a map. So that center section right there is like, the danger zone where you can go from world to world and fall through. And so, yeah, Aiga is the name of the Nazi world, so we're going to refer to it as Aiga. So the bottom layer, which you're seeing in that picture, is the top layer of Aiga. It's the space, the stars, the sun, the moon, but it actually is a giant machine that was created for them to replicate space, stars, moon, all that stuff. But it's actually just a machine. That's a big spoiler in the film because you end up floating up to that and discovering that at some point. And we have, what else can I tell you guys real quick? We've got a relationship between Age and Patema because they're always 69ing each other because that's how they exist.
That's how they. They're always 69ing.
They're always
Yes.
69ing. So because, Patema will float off into space. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. They're 69ing. Because Patema will float off
Here
into
we go.
space, Ag has to hold on to her, and so their weight sort of, counterbalances each other so that they could not float away.
I've got to say, the way they drew that, they made it look so cute.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for a thing that is probably really
It's
messed
a
up.
belly button to belly button.
Yeah,
69.
they're like
Yeah.
squeezing, and their heads are always turned, so it's not too gross.
It's
and
not
I'm
very it's not sexualized at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sweet, and they draw them very fluffy, so it's
Yeah.
it's cute.
It is really sweet. Yeah, and so the major conflict is it's Izumura trying to basically kill the inverts and them sort of discovering what these worlds are all about
Yeah.
through the process of this film.
Spoilers.
And that's essentially it. And I'll just spoil the ending.
Yeah.
Forget it. All right, so we find out that Patema's world is actually the real Earth, but it's above her because, she's underground, and if you were to go up, you
So
actually get to
complicated to explain.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
the top layer, which is above Patema, is the actual Earth, which has been what's the word I'm looking for? Abandoned by this point.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So the real world got F'd in the A because humans decided to try to screw with gravity and use it as a power source. And then the scientists felt super bad. Its explanation was terrible, by the way.
It was very
super
like
bad.
loose.
The scientists felt real bad, so they made a world underground for everyone as retribution for everyone who was inverted. But
Yes.
the inverted people thought they were not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But the
yeah.
people themselves were inverted. There's nothing about the gravity of wherever they're at. It's all
Yes, the
normal
people,
gravity.
Technically,
yes.
The people have
Yes.
become
Which is weird.
reversed to the gravity. It's not about the environment.
They
That's
are
actually
It's
very
only,
cool.
it's only
multiple.
specific people, not everybody.
Who were in this zone that was
Yeah.
hurt.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
yeah, okay.
Yes.
So-
It's a very good point.
I haven't seen this in a
And,
year.
and briefly,
I should have brushed up, shouldn't I? You're doing a show about this.
hey now, this movie came out 2 years after in America. It came out 2 years after
Upside down.
Upside
Down, which is a movie with some dude and Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah.
So this movie, everyone in all the reviews, and it made me really annoyed. It was
Yeah.
like, well, it's very similar. And I'm like, did you guys watch the whole? I don't think they watched the whole movie
No.
because it's not the upside down thing, like being inverted and having some people be facing this way basically, and some people facing that way. That's the same, but everything else is different. Just small recap of this other upside down movie. It's just 2 worlds. It's political, poor group, rich group, and how do they come together? They find a science thing to make them come together.
But when did the U.S. when did the live action movie come out?
2012.
2012. So and because that's what I heard a lot. I was like, oh, it's just a
Or
copy of
2011,
Upside
yeah.
Down. And I was like,
Patema
don't-
came
but
first.
can't you imagine? It had to have come. Well, not the release came first, but I guarantee you
Oh,
they
it
were
was working
drawing
on
it.
it. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I bet
There
you it
were-
was in production.
There were
before.
4 episodes released online. For like of Patema Inverted, there were 4 episodes in 2012 that were released online. So there was an ONA, 4-episode ONA.
Yeah.
Oh.
See,
I'd like to watch
see,
that.
yeah. And you know that American cinema never steals from Japanese culture,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Nah,
You know,
never. I wouldn't want to
There
insinuate
could,
anything.
but it could be the parallel thinking thing.
Hunger Games.
Something in 20
Yes.
2010 was probably about that, and they just kind of pulled inspiration. Is my other thought. But
whatever.
But it's true. America directly rips a lot of things from the Japanese.
yeah. Whereas the Japanese version is like
Battle Royale.
the whole other world was made by man, and its retribution. It's fucked up.
All right.
Oh, there's no ding because I swore.
That'll work.
We gotta work on a better ding.
Our
but-
first cuss of the night.
So we're gonna
Is
have
that like Windows 93?
Yeah.
It's like Windows something.
that's the soundboard. That's all they got.
Hey, there we go. Our first swear word of the
Is
night.
that round one? We start fighting each other? I'm new to this show.
So we're going to talk about some themes, some tropes, and that Michelle, you want to hit us up with that?
We brushed on some of them so far. So the main theme in this is, there's the government dictatorship restricts not only laws, but minds. So they create the laws around what's the name? Aiga. Spelled weird. They control the laws around Aiga. However, they're also controlling the minds of the students. Is all we really see. They have to stay facing down. They can't. They're on people movers constantly. They don't really have any freedom. They're very restricted in movement and in thought, obviously. But they make the whole thing very religious. So it's not only the government. It's just like they're telling them not only. You're not serving your country. You're doing it so that you're not punished, so you're not bad.
Yeah.
So the children basically are taught to be good to avoid punishment, not for any other reason, not to like improve themselves or improve their community or build up to something else or learn new ideas, but just to not be thrown into the sky, which is pretty messed up. I think we have an image of there's a painting they keep in the back of the classroom, which is a bunch of students or a bunch of
people,
with a bunch of people getting. Tossed in the sky. It's super scary. When I
It's very
saw
like fire and brimstone, like the Catholic Church kind of stuff.
It's reverse
like,
hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hell inverted.
Table flip.
No rib shot? Fine. Nice. That's more like it.
But we find out. So the lead bad guy, Izumura, he's super like. So even the teachers are scared of the government. They have cameras on them constantly. They're being surveyed. And they're all scared of being punished by what they think is I don't know, destiny or the universe or God. But it's really the only people getting punished are being punished by the government. When, spoilers, the government kills Ichi's dad because he's trying to make a flying machine. I don't know. I'm just as posturizing. I don't believe that Aiga's government knows that they were.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, but they know there's people underground.
Yes. And they consider those people the sinners that were inverted and taken away.
So it's weird that they never try to go find them in the giant fucking hole that's right next to their village.
They do.
Well, they do. Remember?
There's those weird sort of special ops, the bat people, which I'm assuming are some sort of like special ops down there. Yeah.
What is it? Oh my God, the Gestapo.
Right.
Yeah,
But they only
yeah.
ever catch Lagos. Lego.
Yes.
Lego. Lego. That's what I'm saying.
Lagos.
Like towards the end, like the main bad guy, he's like, we're gonna resume the whole like looking for the underground people thing. Because I think at some point there's a society. What they're alluding to is that their society was actively looking for it, then they stopped, and then he's starting it up again.
Okay. The other confusing thing is, does no one write anything down in books? So,
right?
Because the old dude, he can't be like 500 years old. The old leader of the underground group knows everything, and you kind of inferred that Porta does too.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, we should tell Patema. She's not a child, and he's like, oh, she's a child. She shouldn't know. So you kind of get that the underground people kind of know that they're really the ones who are taking care of the people underground.
Oh, I don't know if I ever got that.
Yeah,
No.
it's
very
subtle
end,
because they make reference to a senior or one of the elders who passed away and
the
who's
chief,
passing on the chief who passed away, who's passing on that information. But they never really hit it on the head.
Yeah.
It's always sort of inferred, but like they have a certain amount of information, but it seems like this has been a long time since the inversion has happened. So a lot of the information is kind of lost at this point.
Wait,
I'm not sure.
vague inferred plot points in an anime?
No.
You guys are blowing my mind, this whole cast.
But I think they don't want to ruin for you the end either, so that's why they don't really. They talk about only if it's discovered.
So you think some of the privileged knowledge people underground know that they're the legit group?
The old man definitely does.
You
The
think
elder
old man
definitely
knows for
knows,
sure?
At the very end, he definitely says, he like explains it like he's like, this is the place that we made to atone for our sins. The scientists made to atone for their sins.
But why do they not go? Why do they not go on the cool side?
Why
do the underground people not
they
go
never talk
above?
about that shit ever.
Yeah, it's like
Unresolved conflicts in
Unresolved,
anime?
ah, man.
And like they go up there and it's all nice and like this
It's
bird.
It's super nice. Like, if they really knew, why couldn't they be like, hey, we can take care of these assholes, but let's go up top every once in a while.
Yeah,
It's
right?
cool up there.
They punish themselves. Maybe that's an allegory or something
Right.
else.
Oh, well, for self-punishment?
You know what? Maybe there's some truth to Izumura. Maybe they believe they're sinners after all.
Oh, boy. That's too dark.
I know, that was
Don't
dark.
make
That
my
was
good
deep.
guys
Yeah.
bad. My bad
I mean,
guys good.
but obviously the most screwed up part about this whole the Aiga believing that they're the ones who were chosen is that it's the opposite, that they are technically the ones who are inverted, and it's just showing you that the religion, even government and religion, can be a construct that you really believe is true, but it's all based on.
Oh, that's pretty.
Lies.
It's pretty heavy-handed in this one, I think. I mean, they're so clear at painting this picture of what role is what. But the idea that they're the caretakers, that changes the movie for me too, because I'm not sure how much I glommed onto that in the end. I was just like, oh, I get it. Yeah. I kind of zoned out because I was happy. I was like, oh, good, happy ending. These guys. And that's interesting that the free people are the ones who are actually the caretakers.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's hard. But using religion and government to subjugate a people, that was pretty clear. The minute you saw them on the People Mover, you're like, oh, something bad is going on here.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that's a good way to put it. On the People Mover. I mean, they're cattle essentially. That was
okay.
sad.
Well, that's what they're
Yeah,
called.
sad.
Are they called people movers?
Yeah.
Like in the airport?
Yeah, they are called.
The People Movers.
I know. It's just for some reason I don't like the term.
Bit.
Yeah.
What do you
What's it
call
called
it?
at the airport? What do you call it?
It's called a people mover.
People Mover.
It's not called a not going up escalator.
For some reason now this
A lateral escalator.
This
It's just a
movie
later.
makes me never want to take a People Mover again. Like I just feel like it's.
I tell the
you know.
same story to my friends every time on an escalator, and they get upset because I start it. I'm like, do you know about the escalator? It's when it was officially debuted at the World's Fair. The creator of it
Oh, I know
was
this story.
furious because everyone was riding it. And he almost was like, no, burn it down, because everyone was riding the escalator. And he's like, no, this is intended to make society faster. You're supposed to continue to walk up the stairs, just do it double the pace.
That's what I was gonna say.
And
I
they
was
just
like,
stopped.
Now
I
they're just like, oh,
absolutely-
good, I don't have to walk.
Like, I absolutely hate people on the People Movers at airports when they just stand there. I was like, can you please fucking move to the side so I can get through?
I got a flight to
You
catch.
know? Like when you take an escalator, like
No.
in the UK, if you're just gonna stand, you move to one side. Not here.
Yeah.
I'm very one of those people like, can you move? And I just like scooch over and just look at them like, go away.
So none of us would survive in society,
Yes.
I guess is what we're trying to say. Real quick, we are looking at chat today. Star Drew, what's up? Nick Coutier. I'm just gonna pretend like you were French.
You're French.
It's not French.
And Nice Blue Drew, what's up, guys?
Yeah,
Welcome
guys.
back. Sorry we were away for so long.
Yeah. Any questions from them? You guys have anything? If you guys want to throw anything at Robbie too, feel free.
They're very excited about the ding dings that's happening.
Oh, they're
Every time-
really?
These are the
every
F-bomb
curse.
dings. Yeah.
Yeah, people are suckers for sound effects.
Yeah, if you have any
you guys
questions-
aren't suckers. That's not what I meant. You're awesome.
If you guys have any questions for us or the control room or Robbie, just let us know and we'll try to answer them later on. Okay, I'm gonna quickly, just real quick, tropes. Oh my god, this movie.
Tropes.
So there's not as many as other ones, but like you got childhood best friend, who is very unimportant in the other relationship that's happening. He's like, I love you, but
Porta.
Oh yeah.
Porta,
true.
that's you, useless best friend.
Yeah. I am very useful.
He does.
you
I
have
saved,
good
I
work.
saved her
Useful,
life
yeah.
like 3 times.
Oh yeah.
You do good work. You do
It's
good
like-
work.
You know what he is? He's the guy next door that you know she should be with. That's a trope, right?
Yeah,
The,
that's
the,
totally the trope.
childhood best friend, and you're like, but she's never gonna go for him because he doesn't talk like this.
Yeah.
And he's not like the mysterious dark-haired boy.
Yeah. No, it's
man.
true.
Yeah.
The lovable loser, man.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's the lovable, goofy.
He's
loser
not
who would-
a main character. He can't be.
He would do anything for her. Sacrifice his life for her, but it doesn't matter because it's not the destined.
No, she's like, this one's a little more angsty. I like
Yeah.
that.
I like him. Yeah. He's a Nazi.
Another infuriating trope in this movie, which kind of almost makes it fall apart a little bit for me, is that the villain is this one-dimensional,
Very.
crazy bad guy who just really, really, really wants to kill all the inverteds, and it's not. It's kind of explained because of religion and his politics and you know his inner beliefs, but it's not like he's just kind of nuts and like he's at a 10 the entire movie at being crazy and it doesn't really go. There's nothing. There's nowhere to go for him.
He's very flat. It's a flat character.
So it's just crazy bad guy to make plot happen.
Yeah.
trope.
That's true. That's all right.
And then the last one is that we never show main characters kissing. No, that would be bad. You just pan away. You pan away so you can't see what they're doing, but you think they're kissing.
It's Chekhov. It's
That's
Chekhov.
true.
All the good stuff happens off stage. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's
So
Chekhovian phase.
Tropes.
we're moving right along.
What would an anime be without tropes?
Tropes.
That's true. It wouldn't be an anime. It would just
Yeah.
be some
Japanese
some
cartoons.
cartoons.
Yep.
So real quickly, I'm just gonna go over art and design. So my two things with this is like the backgrounds and like everything around the characters. It was beautiful. Like it was so well animated.
The sky was really
The
great.
characters themselves were so like throwaways. I was like, they were like reject Ghibli characters. I mean, did anybody else? Like, they're so forgettable.
But Patema's got a sweet braid, doesn't she? She's got like
Yeah,
one good
but
braid.
she's
some
like
meat
the
in it.
loser that didn't make it to Last Exile. A lot of the design reminded me of Last Exile, and the main dude is like literally looks like the main character from
Everything.
Everything Ghibli.
Everything.
Black hair, little nerdy, like
Yeah.
And then Porta was like literally every best friend with short blonde hair. Like it was just so forgettable.
He yells a lot and he's too spunky.
Yeah,
He's
like-
got lower eyelashes for some reason.
Like, can you really remember what any of them really look like? Do they have anything specifically other than Porta's like Patema's like braid? That's it. Like they're all kind of forgettable.
Lagos looks like he could have been a waterbender.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he could have been a
totally
waterbender
get
from Avatar. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I get it with the Aiga people. That's pretty.
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
as
they're
far as the
supposed
character
to look
design,
like that.
supposed to look
That makes
drab and
sense.
plain. But I mean, I'm no, a character designer, but I feel like that's such a good idea with the underground folks, like that sort of the weighted boots, the sort of steampunk-esque thing was going on, and you could have just taken it a couple of steps further,
Yeah.
not too much further. You don't want to give full steampunk. No, you don't need to go full steam boy even.
it just didn't look very. As someone who is like into graphics and stuff, it didn't look like a world that was really fleshed out. Like you have all the backgrounds which are beautiful, detailed, and then you have Aiga just like, okay, black and red, we're kind of Nazi, and then the people underground like browns, kind of steampunk, but not fully committed. It's just like they just did not really put a lot of effort into it, and you could tell.
Yeah, you wanted that next step. That
Yeah, it was
finish
just like,
finish it.
This was like it seemed more like everything that they were drawing for characters was like at the beginning, and then they just like, oh, let's go with these, I was like, no, you guys need to fine tune it a bit more, because I mean, especially when you put it against all the backgrounds, which were like super detailed, and like the colors were very set. Like the Aiga colors were a very specific set for like the backgrounds, and then even when they go into the actual real world, their blues and their greens are much brighter than the actual like blues and greens of the fake
true.
sky. And so it's like, well, yeah, I noticed this stuff, but the rest of it was super forgettable. And I'm like, why would you put these kind of like lame ass characters on this like it's like a race, like it's just like, here, let me put some like scotch tape these like little characters onto some really nice backgrounds. And I was like,
It's cold blooded.
Yeah, I really do think they were going for the Ghibli look, and that's why they. I think there's a reason for that, why they make them generic.
Yeah.
It's so they can kind of be an everyman. But it didn't. You're right. That doesn't work with what they were doing for this, like the actual storyline and the background and stuff. I was kind of like,
yeah, because even like in the Ghibli films, like every single one has a different color palette, and it follows something very, very unique. But this one, I'm like, okay, it was weird.
I'm down with that. I don't have a whole lot of thought.
It didn't ruin the movie for you.
No.
It didn't ruin the movie for me, but I was like, when I tried to, like today, when I was trying to think of like every character, and I was like, who was that one guy? What was his name? Or what did he look like? And if we didn't have the slides, I would not remember what they looked like.
I wouldn't think. I
Keeping
mean,
it real.
some have long hair, some don't. That's how I.
Like, okay, it's just like blonde hair, blue hair, black hair, black with spiky hair, black with bangs.
Okay.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
I guess that's right.
It's super like.
And I guess it's one of those things that outside of like Redline, which like the artwork like jumps out at you.
Yeah.
It's not something I really think about too much. Like unless it's like really, really egregiously bad. But I appreciate that. It actually makes me look at it in a different way. So that's interesting.
Well, there's a reason why character design is its own separate field when you get down to like the Emmys and the Annies, and you can have a great project, and that ultimately falls in the hand of the character designers, and I guess you either like it or you don't.
Yeah.
Clearly.
I dig that, and I also see the correlation to like Studio Ghibli films. Like I see that correlation now. But it didn't like mesh with the rest of the world, unlike a Ghibli film does. Is it Ghibli or Ghibli? We've been talking about that for weeks.
It's katakana. It's Ghibli. But in America, we say Ghibli.
All right, Ghibli. I mean, like, so you're right.
What was the first way?
Ghibli?
Ghibli. I like that one better.
It's like Ghibli.
Ghibli. I like it.
I wouldn't. I don't think I'm gonna attempt it.
Oh, I'm gonna say it, even if
Do
I
it.
butcher it. No,
Do it.
Just a Ghibli.
Ghibli. You can just say Ghibli.
I feel like I would come off like Jiminy.
Yeah.
Jiminy Christmas.
But yeah. So it's fascinating because when you put it that way, you're right. They don't. It's not as cohesive as like a Ghibli
Whatever
film
you want,
that like
kiddo.
really like where the world and the characters all like are one flesh and one
Yeah,
sound.
but you know
It's
what?
nice.
That said, it's funny because I didn't really think about it too much before you mentioned it, but I did notice the background so much when they get shot up into the sky, where they think they're going to go into space and they kind of stop. I remember being like, I felt kind of like get the chills a little bit because they had the sky twisting into itself.
Yeah, because it was
really,
beautiful.
really
like,
pretty.
The backgrounds are beautiful, and I think, like, for me, because when I watch anime, the animation has to be good and the design has to be good. Otherwise, I'm like, well, I'm not gonna fucking watch this. This is crap, you know, like. And it's just my snobbery about it.
There we go.
It's like, well, I have the same thing where I can't play a video game if the main character looks like shit.
Yeah,
like if the thing I'm playing is like ugly or like not cute. I'm just like, I can't. I don't give a shit. Like we were watching our friend play Kingdom Hearts. Which one was it? 2? Was it 2 or 3? Our friend Carol was, and I was like, this main character looks like a dick. Nope. I was like, I don't care if it's a good game. Fuck this shit.
He looked like the poor man Zack from Final Fantasy VII. I
think it was supposed to be. I think it was like his brother or some. I don't know. We didn't play Kingdom Hearts. But yeah. So, but still, it was still a good movie. I actually quite enjoyed it.
Yeah.
The twists were very, very good. They're very twisty. I didn't see that shit coming.
Yeah, you guys will enjoy this. I mean, you'll enjoy the film, I think, overall. Let's see. Let's talk about some favorites in this movie. Do you guys have a favorite moment, a favorite scene, a favorite something from this movie that jumped out at you?
Well, besides the moment where they're stuck in the sky, which is great. What else is good?
I do like the moment that they're floating toward the sky for the first time when they're in the. It's like a sort of like a poor man's
the balloon
thing?
that his father
weight,
made.
but it's like weights.
It's like a reverse.
Yeah, it's a reverse balloon. It's actually just weights that the father made.
They're coming back.
And they first go up to the sky, and I'm like, oh, good, they're finally going to see what's up there because we all know it's not the sky.
Yeah.
And then so they get up there and sort of this abandoned.
I didn't know. I didn't get that part. Until I got there, and I was like, oh.
The machinery, because you see the lights coming, like they're not just going to float. And this has got to have an endpoint. There's got to be something up there that we didn't anticipate.
Yes.
So when we see sort of this machinery city that obviously is not inhabited, but it was maybe at one point being worked on or whatever. What I kind of liked about the whole movie is that there was this feeling of like something not natural that had been accepted as natural. That's what I liked about it a lot.
Which is true.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you've got these people living underground, but they're just accepting this as the way life is. It's been so long. It's been generations since they've been there. And then you give the sky and this sort of abandoned machinery. That scene when they were floating up, I was like, oh, good. Now I feel like this movie is really moving forward.
Yeah.
At that point, as like that's when they started to sort of pull back the curtain. For me, that's when Wizard of Oz gets good. You know, well, it's great throughout the whole thing, but when they start to pull back that curtain, you go, oh no, this isn't what we thought it was.
Yeah.
That for me, that was kind of a pull back the curtain moment where I was like, something's going on here.
Yeah.
You know, even though I didn't fully understand what it was.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yes.
when we saw that scene, so when you first watched the movie the very first time, and you saw the sky was actually a machine, what did you think? Because I didn't think it was that they were actually in the underground.
That's pretty much.
I thought I was like, oh, everything that went in the sky made their own town.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, and I thought there was gonna be people up there.
Yeah.
I thought there was going to be people.
I feel like maybe I've just read like too much science fiction. The moment where she's like, when they show the dad with the weird reverse balloon and then he gets shot, I was like, this is not the real world.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the moment I knew.
But
I was like, the sky is fake.
So I thought they were going to go up and that would be Earth or something like. But I knew there was going to be there was going to be people there. There was going to. But obviously it wasn't. But it was a nice.
I was confused when there was no people. I'm like, why? Wait, but why is this stuff? It took me way too long to figure it out.
I had your thought, but in reverse. I had your thought with the ending. I thought that they were floating up to the real world where gravity was right, and Iga was actually some sort of planet they had built in the sky.
That's what I thought as well.
Yeah,
That's what I thought. Which is not the case.
No.
It is not the case.
Yeah, I knew that. I knew that the people who were living underground were reversed. Like I knew the moment the whole balloon. It's just because the way the balloon looked, it looked like a reverse balloon, so it's weighted. And I was like, so
because there wasn't any helium. There wasn't like a top.
Yeah,
it
so
was
it's
just
like
heavy.
it was literally like when you have like the diagram of like an anthill. Like I was like, that's probably it. And then they showed it, and I was like, I was so right.
You saw the secret. You saw it right.
But
you
it's
caught it.
because I read a lot of fucking like sci-fi.
All right, he was the biggest nerd at this table.
And then, so I was like, it's because I feel like the idea is not new, so I was like, it has to be it.
Now let me talk about the non-hot air balloon. that was another of my favorite scenes, the flashback with all the singing when they're going through he's reading the journal and they're kind of seeing flashback of his father and Lagos, being friends and running through the field together and making this balloon. I guess this is before they installed all the cameras everywhere.
Oh yeah,
because they were at it for kind of a while before they got
seriously,
caught.
cameras watching people watching cameras.
Yeah. And yet could not catch those kids released trying to get out Patema.
No, they were in the woodshed a good 50 yards from the school. We can't afford to put cameras out there.
Yeah. Oh no. Nothing would ever happen out there.
That was a good moment. How about you guys? Do you have any other special sparkly moments?
Yeah, special sparkly moments. Oh shoot, I think I had something. I'm trying to think about it.
Oh,
you know what? For me, it was. I guess it was the way they floated around. Like I kind of dug it. I mean, I make the joke. It's the 69 moment. Like, and they're always 69. And I kept making the joke. I was sitting next to my wife when watching the film, and I kept being like, I'm going 69, dude. Whoa. Like,
you are why we can't have nice
I know. I kept doing the Bill and Ted 69 joke, and my wife was literally like, just shut up. Shut up. But it was really cool, and I really dug the concept and how these two characters, they needed each other and relied on each other, and you couldn't exist in this world without working together. I mean, literally 100% being attached to each other, and there was something really beautiful to that. And it did make me think about a lot of different things about weight distribution, and I was like, how much does she weigh?
Yeah.
Like, I was like,
oh, that's what I thought.
Exactly
yeah.
the same.
Like if she ate a burrito,
No, it's
would
always
they just
that she's
float
lighter
away?
than him. And with the backpack, she was almost the same, so they would go.
Yes. And then she had the weight, so then they were like,
Yeah.
but it did make me think about like a lot of things. I was like if one of them urinated, would they lose enough weight
my
to like
God.
change? Like, if like one of them had like a big lunch, like I thought a lot about that while I was watching the film. When you're thinking about weight
Christ.
distribution, and the slightest thing could make you float away into the sky. It's important. Like if you're like, before I hold on to you, what did you eat today? Like.
Also, how hard is it to hold on? If
Yes, I was wondering about
they're
the
always
grip
like,
strength.
yay, skipping through the sky. And I'm like, hold on a second. Let's say at most
Yeah.
she weighs 100 pounds.
But she's also
If
pulling
someone were-
away from him the whole
Right.
time.
If someone were to say to you,
Yes.
I want to pull 100 pounds of pressure out of your arms right now,
And be moving.
you'd be
Yeah.
Yeah.
you would be like
around.
skipping.
Yeah.
You're like holding on by the wrists.
Yeah.
You would be like
They both have like bruised ribs
Yeah,
from like
yeah,
holding
yeah.
onto each other.
Yeah.
fantasy.
It's
Yeah,
funny.
but it's totally that thing that makes me. I was thinking like a lot about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like if they held onto each other, but one of them farted, would it project the other one like into the sky? Would it just like shoot them up into the world? Like that's
It's like a time travel movie though. Like anytime you start messing around with physics, it's best just to turn your brain off and go, "Doll."
Oh yeah, exactly right.
Like how we devolved right into a fart
I know.
joke.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
They can hold on to each other and everything's fine, and that's essentially what it was in the end.
It took at least 30 minutes to devolve into a fart joke.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
until near the end of this that I got there. Does anyone online got anything interesting for us? Anything? you
No,
guys?
people were fighting online actually because
they
there's a bunch of
fighting?
trolls on there.
Are you
So,
serious? We got a bunch of
just-
trolls
yeah.
today.
The latest posting just says the word boner.
Yeah. Hey,
Just-
you can't pay attention to the trolls.
Just
but,
boner.
Star Drew, thanks for sticking around through that. Sorry, these guys are ruining your experience.
I
saw
know.
your
We got
comment.
some,
Sorry about that.
trolls tonight.
But,
I haven't seen trolls on our chat before.
We're getting famous. Look at us. Look at us.
Right? We made it. We've officially made it.
Someone said you said farts.
Yeah. Oh, thank
yes.
you.
We talked about farts for like the last 15 minutes. You guys pay attention to us.
Where are you?
You would know about the farts and how it moves you along the
Looking at
space.
Oh my goodness. All right, so let's do some final ratings. Let's talk about some final ratings.
out
do you
of
wanna
5.
Do you want to start? Where do you want to start with, Robbie? Do you want to rate this thing?
That's
out
not.
of 5?
Oh God.
Let's
It's
just
like,
jump
I got
around.
paid to be in this.
Do you want to take 1 second?
What's on what scale? Am
We
Out
just
of
go through
5.
5.
Am
We just go
I,
5.
is this objective? Is it subjective
Yeah,
to
man.
genre?
It's all up
Am
to
I,
you, man.
am I
It's-
comparing
it's
this
all
to The
you.
Godfather? Or am I comparing it to other anime movies?
Maybe other anime,
Anime.
and then
Anime feature films?
Yeah.
Out of 5,
the bar's kind
I
of.
And you could do point somethings
honestly,
and stuff.
I would give it a 4.2.
4.2.
Dang, that's high.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
I
high.
really, really enjoyed it, but and it's not just because I was in it, but no, I actually enjoyed it as a whole. Like sometimes I'll sit down and watch a feature, and I just have a hard time getting into it.
Yeah.
Maybe because I might be picky too a little bit. And
Anime movies, as we've noticed in this show, are very difficult to create a world that's really insane and wrap it up in an hour, like 2 hours.
And,
It's really
and
really
I grew
hard.
up. I grew up on Mother's Milk of like Ninja Scroll and Akira. So it's
greats.
hard. So it's hard for me. So that's also like comparing the Godfather of anime to something that's new and modern. And I don't watch a ton of features. And maybe it's because I hadn't watched one in a while, other than Studio jibbity bibbity, but I really, really enjoyed it. I watched it by myself, which is rare, and I just sat down and turned it on and watched it top to bottom and like enjoyed it and walked out feeling good, and that's a 4-star for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
4.2.
Damn, girl.
All right, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I am gonna do. I think I'm gonna do like a 4. I mean, it's not a 5 for sure. It's giant plot holes flying through the air. That guy, I don't understand him at all.
Appropriate way to put it. Yeah.
But like the whole like it's a fantasy, so you gotta put away your adult things for a while and watch the movie. And I liked it. It was very cute. I was surprised by everything. There wasn't too much foreshadowing. Sometimes in anime, let me tell you, they're like, I'm gonna Freddy foreshadow this just a little bit, but it's like the entire plot. You're like, oh, so you're the princess. Got it.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, Sailor Moon, settle down. Stop telling me you're the princess. Episode 1, basically. Jesus Christ. But it had some really fun reveals, and I felt a little doki doki. Like, I felt like, whoa, the world's upside down. Like, I liked it.
I think I'm gonna have to give this like a 3.5.
Oh, dang, girl.
Right.
Just because, which is not bad. I mean, it's got a lot of potentials, but like there are just gaping plot holes. The story itself, I felt like, is a little bit more unique than most anime feature films. I was pleasantly surprised. I liked the twist. I mean, I got it pretty early on, but it was something that like, if I hadn't known that this was a thing, I don't think I would have gotten that like plot point. Mm-hmm. So like, I would recommend people watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the artwork. I'm like.
Yeah, but nice backgrounds.
Nice landscapes. Watch for the backgrounds.
Yeah, I'm with Michelle. Straight up 4. It's solid. I would watch it. I enjoyed it. It had a lot of feels. It had tons of feels. And one thing I love about this anime, which, like you were saying, a lot of things you figure out so fast. This one kept me guessing for a long while, and I really love that.
And that's really rare in any kind of movie.
Yeah, like being able to be surprised. And gosh, I love the feeling of being surprised when watching something. Like, even Star Wars and the new one, I wasn't surprised though. Like that one right off the bat, I was like, oh, I see a lot of this. I was like, and I was able to, but I enjoyed the film.
Because we were looking for surprises. That's another thing. When you're not looking for them, it's more of a surprise. So the inverse thing, I was like, okay, this is the world. Cool, got it. But then it wasn't that.
Yeah, and I got to discover a lot. So I mean, but 4 is good. I mean, I would totally suggest to everyone, you guys could watch it on, what did we watch it on Hulu, Netflix? What was Hulu?
Yeah,
watch it on Hulu this time.
Hulu, and it's also on Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah, the dub versions.
So make sure to check this one out. I think
it's a beautiful Blu-ray box.
Oh,
if you want to own it, it really is. It's nice. It's all shiny. Looks good on my vanity shelf.
What does that even mean?
And of course, Robbie's in it. So
I don't care how you watch it.
You could see his first role ever in anime. That's awesome. Which is a great. I surprised in this interview today.
Yeah, it was fun.
Any questions out there for Robbie before we move on, you guys? Any thoughts?
No,
questions? Epiphanies? Revelations?
The chat is garbage right now. So
come on, guys.
You guys got to keep it together. But
I think
what a funny show to like. To have something
trolls on, yeah.
That's really, yeah.
Have you been to
Michelle keeps it real. Michelle keeps it real.
Yeah, I don't know.
But thank you so much for being on the show, Robbie. It was
you
a
guys
pleasure
are
to
awesome.
have you. You're in everything, so I'm sure we'll have you back on again.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
One of these days.
We'll say awesome again.
And it's awesome.
Really awesome. Guys.
And next week?
Next week we will be doing Boruto the movie.
Boruto! Burrito the movie.
Did you guys do Naruto the last?
Yeah.
We did.
I think.
Where was my invite?
Oh, wait, did we have anyone on that one?
We didn't have anybody.
We didn't have anyone on that
Because
one.
it was like our second show.
Yeah.
Shenanigans.
We didn't start inviting people until like 3rd or 4th.
Because we were like, what if we're bad at this?
Yeah. we wanted to get the ball rolling, but you're right.
Yeah.
We should have invited.
That's
tell you
hurtful.
what. You know what? Next time you want any part of anyone, we'll give you first dibs on anyone you want.
Just pick any anime. You don't need part of
Just
it.
ones I'm not in.
Yes.
Sweet.
That should be good. We're back. So we're back on our schedule. We're Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Pacific time. See you guys every week.
Yep.
That's
forever.
right. You could find me. I'm Jonathan Meza. You can find me at KaibaCat.
And I'm Yume, and you can find me at Yume Ninja.
Robbie Daymond.
He meant at Robbie Daymond.
Yeah.
I am ChubbyBunny Michelle. You can find me at I am ChubbyBunny on all the internet. And don't forget, we have a Facebook page, facebook.com/Otaku Movie Anatomy. Leave comments, follow us, leave
Suggestions.
Yes. If you guys leave any comments, we will answer them. I'll write back. Actually, we pay attention to this stuff. Thank you to all you guys in the chat, the trolls as well. You know what? At least you guys are here and listening. Thank you guys so much. We will see you next time.
Yeah.
Till then, you guys.
Farewell. Oh, it's very
sad.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
Views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.